Good morning, everybody. It's July 11th, 2026. I'm Kelly, Drachma the Shaman, and this is my live broadcast. I am the 13th pillar of the Cloister Duradura plate record prophecy that they speak of. I am the carrier of the Adam seed, which is the Christos consciousness crystalline morphogenetic blueprint code. That is going to be broadcasting and solidifying and dissolving the frequency net of the matrix that currently surrounds our planet. This is going to be a short broadcast or transmission this morning because I've got something to do. I get to go do something fun today. I'm so excited. So, the shop owner is back. My friend, where I stay, has allowed me to stay here. It's a mutual cooperative agenda to help get some validation. He's going through a transition in his own life, clearly as I am, and I'm seeing my position within his life a little bit more clearly now. Sorry. Which is helpful. And we've both, in the last few months, has been a struggle because we haven't known each other very well. And this was a matter of getting to know each other on a real personal level. And there's the mutual connection between the two of us, this person and I, is my mother. And hence why we keep trying to show up in the middle and cooperate. Because it's a mutual thread that is super important to the two of us, that we keep coming back to and remembering that that's why we're in each other's lives. And that's the most important reason. And because of who my mother was to me and him, we both recognize that there's a greater purpose at hand for this whole thing. And hence why I've been here. And hence why he owns a shop here in Torrance, where I had to be on June 21st in order to activate the Adam seed. Or have the Adam seed be activated within me, I guess. I didn't do anything. I have not done anything. I have to make that very, very clear. I have not done anything. This whole process has been an internal process within my own DNA and my own biology. And my conscious awareness of it has just helped me alleviate any suffering that I may be experiencing through the changes within my own body, because I understand what's happening. That's the only reason. My body was genetically coded to be the 13th pillar, regardless of my conscious awareness or consent to it. That was made clear to me when I was 15 years old, when I had a terrestrial experience, an ethereal astral experience that was in the third dimension, where my higher soul, also known as Holy Spirit, my higher soul, which is also your higher soul. Holy Spirit is also your higher self, your oversoul. That's the term. If you want to commonize the terminology, the Holy Spirit is really your internal, your oversoul, and your energetic double speaking to you. That's your teacher, the Holy Spirit. That's what Jesus really meant. It's that inner teacher within us that's always there. It's already been there. We just got to activate our DNA and our potential. How exciting is that? We're actually capable. In this day and age, planetary alignment couldn't be more perfect. It's aligned for this time. And we have 3 years to raise our vibration above the frequency net. 3 years, guys, to get our own personal vibration right high enough that when the Adam seed avatar is old enough to broadcast and solidify the net at 3 years old, which is 3 years, going to be in 3 years. June solstice of 2030. If your vibration isn't high enough, when that happens, when the solidification of the crystalline morphogenetic blueprint is solidified into the frequency net of the grid, the matrix, the timeline will be sealed. It will be sealed, and anybody vibrating in the lower harmonic field still within their own personal genetics and their own personal body, if you haven't activated your D4 heart chakra, absolutely 100%. If you have not been activated at your D4 heart chakra, at the very least, you're gonna get caught in the snap and the collapse of the Armageddon agenda and the frequency net matrix. So by June solstice of 2030, celestial humans, every single one of you, have the potential to raise your own vibration above the frequency net of the matrix before the collapse of the timelines. And that's what my purpose is here, to broadcast my frequency undistorted and unfiltered, raw, in its authenticity, onto the grid, because my 13th pillar, my biological avatar, which is the anchor for the 13th pillar energetic frequency, is anchoring and overwritten the frequency net at this time. So what that means is the shadow entities are no longer in control of the frequency net as they have been. And to confirm this, CERN has been shut down. CERN is shut down, and if you know who CERN is, you'll know that that's a very significant statement that I make. CERN has been shut down. The White Hats, which is the Guardian Alliance, has mandated that CERN turn off their machines. Therefore, the shadow entities are now scrambling to find another way to feed off of our energetic and emotional energy. I just love the fact that the confirmation of CERN being shut down just kind of confirms the fact that it doesn't confirm that me personally, genetically, am already the frequency net, but it does confirm that the frequency net is being overwritten, for sure. And I think that's really cool for this day and age. I'm trying to get used to what these symbols on this broadcast, the transmission is. I see the little eyeballs keep popping up in the live, and I think that that's because this is a public broadcast or transmission. I think that means that somebody that's not on my friends list is watching. It's so cool. Hi, how you doing? I'm still trying to get used to what it all means, but having an audience isn't the purpose of my broadcasts or my transmissions. My transmissions and my broadcasts are strictly to make sure that my personal energetic frequency as the anchor, the biological anchor for the 13th pillar of the CDT, the Cloister Duratura prophecy, plate records, prophecies that they speak of, is anchored into the grid. It's broadcast onto the grid, because my biological avatar as the 13th pillar is anchoring the frequency, the energetic frequency of the 13th pillar that is overriding the frequency net of the matrix. So the frequency net of the matrix is no longer being controlled by the shadow entities. So that should give us all cause for celebration and relief and be able to breathe a little bit, because that means that our reality is in the process of changing. Our reality is in the process of changing. I have a timer up. I don't know if you can hear it ticking in the microphone or not, but I have it set because I'm going to be picked up here in a little bit to go. I'm going to go get to do some kind of Hawaiian thing down in okay, that was really just weird. But anyways, I get to do some Hawaiian thing down in Marina Del Rey. Yes. My friend here, they just got back from their vacation, him and his wife. And today we are going to be going to this Hawaiian festival thing in Marina Del Rey and have some fun today. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been out of this warehouse for 2 weeks, other than to the grocery store, I do not drive right now. for different reasons. I'm in the process of changing my name, so I need to legally get my name changed before I can do any, to be efficient and cost efficient as well. Getting my name changed legally seems to take precedence over getting my new driver's license, switching over my driver's license, switching over my tags and my registration and everything on my car, because I just feel like it's going to just cost me more money in the long run. As I'm not really pressured to have to, I don't really drive right now. I don't have any real need to, and if I do need to go drive, I've got resources available to me to be able to do that, and I'm working through this. And I love my life today. I love how creative my mind works to be in the solution. I am trying to flow with affluence, which is the energetic flow as a stream of abundance and energy, of the energy of abundance. And money is part of that energy. And I've had a weird relationship with money my whole life. I grew up thinking weird, and I grew up in, well, in the 80s we still had a middle class section. We don't really anymore. There's really no middle class section anymore. It's either rich or poor. And I definitely claim to be, I'm definitely fallen to the poverty bracket. Simply but how the system is worked out today, though, just because of the way that the world is set up and the system is set up today is all. That's the only reason. I am by no means impoverished. Not by any means. My life is rich. Maybe not with money, but it's rich. Energetically. And as long as I stay in that mindset, and that energetic richness will manifest into my physical world, into my physical realm, because as above, so below. It happens in the energy field first, before it manifests here. This is the slowest density of the harmonic fields and the dimensions. And there are 15 dimensions. 15. There are 15 dimensions. My morning meditation reading this morning, again, I use a moon deck by Arona Leah. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I apologize if I'm not. But the moon deck by Arona Leah. And I know this is backwards, and I apologize. I'm not really skilled at this. And this is me beginning to learn and build my platform and to express myself and be acting as if, right? I know what I'm doing, acting as if. I'm starting the process of learning the process of being who I am and who I am supposed to be and who I say that I am. So I'm acting as if right now. I know that my intuition tells me I need to broadcast my frequency, my energetic frequency, undistorted and unfiltered and raw and authentic out onto the frequency grid, onto the grid of the frequency net, because my genetics are overriding it as being the biological avatar, anchoring the energetic frequency as the 13th pillar of the 13th pillar, and also carrying the atom seed. Today is day 18 of the gestation of the atom seed, which is 1,314 days. Now, this morning the card that came up is number 4. The rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life. No boobies. So I love this card. It's just a very pretty card, and it, clearly it's an air element card. 4 is the number of ego. stability. In Chaldean numerology, the 4 is the number of Rahu, which is the dragon's head. It's all ego, it's all logic, intellect, all the left brain. And in order to get into rhythm with life and have mind-brain coherence is through the breath. Our heart is the most magnetic mechanism, has the most magnetism, and same goes for the core of the planet, the heart chakra of the planet. They resonate together. Now, I will take the time to read the guidebook because I feel like that was part of what Spirit wanted me to share with you guys, was what the guidebook said, because it's very, very important. The rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life, and breath is the sacred thread that runs through us all. Each and every one of us needs to breathe to be alive. It enhances our awareness, allows us to shape our perspective, and enlivens our presence moment to moment. Slow down and deepen your breath. If you listen closely, your breath has a rhythm. If you feel closely, your breath has a pattern. Your breath responds to mood, emotion, movement, and energy. The simple act of breathing can be incredibly healing when practiced mindfully. Your breath may change when you are tense or soft, resting or dancing, making love or feeling angry. Breath is present through it all. A deeper and more rhythmic breath will bring more centered awareness into your entire being. As you cultivate a practice of healthy breathing, the world around you and within you will respond to the shift. And that's kind of what I've been talking about the last couple days, about breath changing your life. When you allow your body to be saturated with the oxygen that it truly needs in order to function properly, your whole life changes. When you operate your life from, quote, safe mode, as I call it, and that's being in the parasympathetic nervous system, I call that being in safe mode, having your vagus nerve turned off and your parasympathetic nervous system turned on. That is called safe mode. That's when you're able to walk around with your own cup full, so you can fill other people's cups. And when you're walking around in safe mode, so what that means is your filter is on, your antivirus programming filter is on. So when you're out and about during your day, when you're in safe mode, having grounded yourself through your breath and activated that parasympathetic nervous system in your diaphragm, saturated your body with the oxygen that it truly needs to function, you'll not only have the energy you need throughout your day to do what you need, because for two reasons: your body's saturated with oxygen, and second, you have your filter on, your antivirus filter on, which means that your gold shield is on. So anything that's not meant for you or that is meant to drain you gets filtered through that shield, through that frequency net that you put simply by being in safe mode before you start your day. I don't know how much simpler to make it. And this is something that most of us operate in fight or flight mode constantly. We try to sleep in flight or fight mode and then wonder why we can't sleep. These things are true, and we can manually biohack our own body through our breath, through what's called I can't say the word, pranayamic breathing. And I personally do alternate nostril pranayamic breathing every day before I start my day. Because I need to be grounded. My energetic frequency is big, and it's anchoring the frequency grid of the planet right now. Therefore, I need to make sure that I am absolutely walking around in safe mode. I think I do a good job at it now, but it's taken practice. We cannot perfect any skill without practice. I mean, now I sit down to do my breathing first thing in the morning, and I still might set my timer and do 5 minutes regardless. But as soon as I sit down to do my breathing, my body already turns on in parasympathetic mode. And you know this by the way you yawn. When you yawn, those big, deep yawns that stop you what you're doing. And, hold on a second. Hello. Hi, Douglas.
Answer.
I did answer. I heard the phone ring.
Perfect. I have yet to shower and eat my breakfast. Breakfast is ready, but I need to shower and eat, and then I'll come down and pick you up. We'll go to Hawaiian Festival.
All right, sounds good. I'm ready and waiting for you.
Wow, terrific. I don't know if I'm going to bring Madeline with me or come back and pick her up later.
Okay, no problem.
It just now occurred to me it's a lot closer if I bring her with me.
Bring me with you where?
Bring Madeline with me.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make more sense. That would make more sense if it's more efficient.
Yeah, it would.
So,
We'll see. That's what I'll probably do.
okay. Well, just remember, it goes on until 4 o'clock. We don't have to be there right on time. We're not in a hurry. It's a fun day, so don't forget that.
Right. And next weekend is about 10 times bigger than today.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Well, I look forward to today.
Same idea.
Nice.
All right. Just give me a heads up, so I'll probably be down there about an hour.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that, and I'll see you in an hour.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Douglas.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So that became part of my broadcast today. I accept that. I thought about turning it off to answer the phone. I thought about not answering the phone, but then I thought all of those things. This is me, my true raw authenticity in my life, and I am sharing it in its entirety as I'm utilizing these broadcasts, and I'm trying to do this. I don't know what the structure is going to morph into, and I don't really know how to format or a schedule or structure to this at all. I just know that my energetic frequency needs to be transmitted live through this broadcast, because it is anchoring the energy frequency net of the matrix, it's overwritten, the energy frequency net of the matrix, and my biological avatar is anchoring that energetic frequency as the 13th poet. So now I don't have to worry about the timer on for the half hour. I just want to make sure, he had told me 9:30 yesterday morning, or yesterday when he left, and so I just wanted to make sure that I was prepared, because I don't always hear my phone when it rings. I'm bad at answering my phone. I'm terrible at answering my phone. But I'm not really apologetic about it. I really am not tore up about that at all. I kind of miss the days when I was a kid, when we didn't tethered to a leash that meant that anytime, anywhere, people were able to intrude upon your life, regardless of what you're doing. And that's I don't know, it's just super intrusive. I prefer the days back when it didn't matter if I missed your call because I wasn't home, The only way that changes sometimes is in case of emergencies, but even then, we managed emergencies pretty well. Even if we weren't tethered to, had some leash to us, And plus, the frequencies that they put out are not good for our bodies, and we carry them everywhere with us, and then the towers everywhere don't help either. So, I really have a desire to live off the grid, but I don't know how that works, because if I'm going to have an online platform, you need to have some grid presence, right? Unless there's no need for an online platform, which I wouldn't mind if I was in the right community, where there would be no need for this broadcast. There would be no need for the expression and the urgency and the invitation, because we'd be there. And possibly living in a world where communication isn't harmful, where our technology isn't harming us, because it doesn't have to. It's designed that way now on purpose. They distort the frequencies on purpose to make them, cause them to be harmful for our biological organic templates. So, I hope everybody is having a good day. I hope everybody has had a great week. I hope that everybody's Saturday has got something fun planned. I know I've got something fun planned, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so excited. Sorry, that was really weird. I'm a weirdo. Oh my gosh. I'm such a weirdo. Cards, as we know, I am going to pull our self-care card for today, for the day's self-care card by Cheryl Richardson. Sorry, I dropped my stone. So the shuffling got released. Cutting the deck on Revelation. Release to have revelation. That makes sense to me. And I'm going to hand shuffle. Apollo, do you have to be there? He is such a needy dog sometimes. I feel like I almost need to get him a friend here. He just turned 7 years old. He's such a good dog. But he's under my feet constantly. And he's a busybody. God, this dog is so nosy. He's such a nosy dog. I love it though. Okay, oh. Did we get one? There we go. Oh, interesting. So, the card that came up today is Rest. It's a perfect card for Saturday, right? And I love the pinks. The pinks are right relationship. You know, when you have Rest, you can't be in right relationship with yourself or others if you're not in rest. Rest and relax. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. That's really cool. I think that is super cool. So we need to, I love the pinks. Hi, Sherry. So happy to see you. So Source today is saying utilize today, July 11th, 2026, to rest, anchored in love. Anchored in love. So we need to rest and relax, release guilt, and make your needs a top priority. And then anchor that in love. Anchor that in love. Love is the answer. I can't express that more urgently, more deeply, that love is the answer to it all. Fear is not real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And the shadow entities are going to be, our world is changing. Our world is changing. And it's being represented and reflected in the sky. Yeah, he's here. Apollo's here. Here he is. Sherry says hello. He says hello. Hi. Hi. And in order to be in proper rest, we have to operate in safe mode. We need to be breathing properly. When we are operating our days in fight or flight, and most of us do constantly, most of us are in fight or flight mode, and our bodies are bioengineered organic avatars that can be biohacked. And we can biohack our bodies through our breath, mainly through our breath. And make sure you're hydrating, and you can do it through light. Make sure you're, whoops, there goes my timer, but I don't need it. Douglas called me and told me that he's going to be longer, so sunlight, hydration, and breathing properly is the only way to evolve and ascend. And ascension it's a science. It's called chemontic science, and it's called ascension mechanics, you guys. Chemontic science is the science of spirituality. Spirituality and science are one and the same. They're the same thing. How could they not be? How could science not lead to God ultimately, right? If there's a creator, science is going to lead to the, because science is the proof of the creation, it should lead to the creator, right? And if the creator is love, then that's what we should anchor our belief systems in, is love. And what does love look like? What does love look like to you? Who are you really? And who are you becoming? And if we're not breathing properly, you can't answer that question for yourself, because you are still operating in trauma, and you're operating in fight or flight mode, and you're not thinking, you're an autopilot, and you're not being present in the moment and operating your free will choice either. And the best way that I know how to biohack your body with breath and make sure that you are operating from a grounded space and what I call safe mode. And what I mean by that is safe mode means that your personal biological antivirus program is turned on, and you have a gold filter frequency around you that filters anything that isn't meant for you energetically and drains you or wants to, or is meant to cause you harm. And it works better than EMFs and all those things, EMF blockers and all those things that we try to use, because EMF blockers don't do it sufficiently, because we're in a flood of frequency. So if you're not operating in safe mode, you're not efficiently blocking the EMF anyway. And how we operate in safe mode is by our breathing. And I do what's called alternate nostril breathing every morning. And I do it for 5 minutes. And we know that our parasympathetic nervous system is turned on when through our breathing we let out that great big yawn, right? The kind that make us stop and makes our jaw stretch out that we can't control. I mean, really yawn. Sometimes our eyes water. That means our parasympathetic nervous system is turned on. That means that you are now in safe mode, and your cup is full. You can now proceed in full mode, or fill your cup even more so that you're overflowing when you're engaging with the world outside. And I encourage you guys to practice this, and it is a practice. It's a skill that needs to be practiced. And my body now, as soon as I step into my practice in the morning for my pranayama, my alternate nostril breathing, I yawn. My parasympathetic nervous system turns on. But I continue with the 5 minutes simply because that's my practice. And I want to make sure that I'm fully grounded. And it's a good practice to have, and it's a good practice to start. And I encourage you all to heed these words. We have 3 years to raise our vibration before the timeline is sealed. And then we don't have a choice in the matter. 3 years before the timeline is sealed, and the crystalline morphogenetic blueprint is anchored into the frequency. And if you're not vibrating high enough and you're not above the frequency net as it starts to collapse and the timeline seals, you're going to get stuck in the Armageddon agenda and the lower bandwidth, lower harmonic field dissolution. Why would anybody want that? Who wants that? But we can avoid it by raising our own vibration and doing our own inner work of evolution, personal evolution and ascension, through ascension mechanics, through chemontic science. And I encourage everybody to do so. The rhythm of your breath directs the rhythm of your life. The rhythm of your breath directs the rhythm of your life. And through your breathing is how you put your body into safe mode. Rest and digest. Rest and relax. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. Anchored in love. So I'm going to end this transmission. Excuse me. Here, I feel like this is the message for the day. This is my transmission for the day. This is my broadcast for the day. And I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day. Have a great Saturday. Be blessed. Lots of love and light. Love you. I love you all.